Hi everyone, and what are we up to? The second week? Yeah, it'd be the second week. Just working out my days. It's the 12th today. It'd be the second week of our vessel or bowl. So I've actually done a bit of work off camera where what I did is I stitched down my three pieces together and then I have covered it in a whole bunch of neutrals. And I've just done just a Canter running stitch randomly. I get really random in here, all over it with little bits of linen. Sometimes they had some decorative edges. This is where my dog ripped it. I found that he'd taken it off my table the other day. He tends to do that. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly explain how I did that, so that you have the idea. So firstly, I'm not very organised here. I just need a piece. Well, let's just do it with a piece of fabric. Oh, here's a piece. This piece will do. So I got lots of pieces, probably not much bigger than that. A couple of those ones might be slightly bigger. And all I did was I literally covered the inside and the outside, and I got little pins. This one's a bit big, but I had smaller ones, little applique pins. And I covered the whole thing in bits of neutrals, so that would have been pinned as well. Once it was all pinned down, so I had pins on the inside, pins on the outside, I just got a white old crochet cotton and I just did running stitches. So literally I'd put my knot underneath somewhere so it was kind of wedged in there, and I'd just go running stitch and I'd just start stitching in circles and just feeling for the back and front to try and make sure that everything was held down. And then down the bottom I went a bit random. Got a little tuck there, but that's okay. I just wanted it to be neutral. Some of this is going to be covered up now, so I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. Hang on, just need to get my little applique pins. Okay, here's my messy pin cushion. These little white ones, little applique pins. Okay, so what I would do now is I'm going to decorate. And I've ripped up some different fabrics. Some of these were the ones I showed you that I collected. I've fussy cut sometimes some flowers. I wanted to put the little embroidery on, and then I'm going to put some laces on, bits and pieces. So what I would do, I'd do the same technique. I don't want to cover all the neutrals. So where it's fairly plain here is where I might add a piece of neutral. Okay, so I've got a few bits of this kind of printed script. Okay, so I might stick a couple on the inside and a couple on the outside. Yeah, then flip it over. Oh, I did put a piece of linen there to try and just neaten off the base. I might need to cover up that. There was a bit, where is it? There's a little patch where, is it there? There was a little patch on here where I hadn't covered it in some neutrals. It's there. So I'll make sure I cover it with this one. And then I'll put my other piece. I got 4 pieces. What I could do with this one is I could actually fold it over the top, because you can see the waddings in there. I'm going to fold some bits and pieces over, but I'm not going to cover the whole thing. It's going to add to my raggedy look of my bowl. Now what I do when I add is some laces, and this is where it would work quite well to have some bits folded over the top. So I'm going to pin all of these, and then I'd do the same thing and just do some stitching on them. Just random messy stitching, like that piece. I think that'd be quite nice on the inside. I can overlap it. And what I can stitch down with is either the just sewing machine cotton, or I can go back to the crochet cotton. So I'm just building up some layers. Just pinning bits down. This one, actually this one could go over, or it's quite a big one. I might run that on the outside somewhere. When it's big like that, you could fold it over the edge, or you can just trim it off. I think I might cut that one down, it's a bit big. Trim that bit down. I'm going to pin it on there. Okay, I'm just going for the neutrals at the moment, and then I will build up to a few bits of colour. So these are just scraps. Have I got that one the right way? No, flip it. Just some scraps. Pinning the scraps down. Got this little offcut of something. Once you kind of stitch them, it's like the piece becomes one. I had these cut out. Could use one of them somewhere. So there's pretty much going to be pins everywhere, and it'll look a bit wonky, but once it's oh, I love, look at these bits of cross stitch. So I was going to fold this one over, but I want it visible on the inside. Might just layer that up a bit on that one. Just make sure that you don't add something over the top so you can't see where your pin is that you'll need to remove later. I had some more cross stitch. Here it is, this little bit as well. Let's put a little bit on the outside here. All right, I was thinking of this one could go on. Could just wrap round under the bottom. I was thinking if I want any more bits of lace before I add more colour. I like this bit, that bit's really nice. So this is just a little bit of a few scraps I've got. Just random bits and pieces chucked in at the moment. I like this. Oh, is that the one I've already got? Yep, that's pretty much what I've already got. That one's different. Let's cut a bit of that off. I'm trying to keep it scrappy. I kind of got a lacy bit there, so let's go over here. I think, yeah, I don't want this one. I'm going to put that back into my box and use that for something else. I like this one. Look at this. Let's have a look at this. Ooh, yes. We'll use a bit of this one. Let's do a messy cut. These are just a few laces I've got going on at the moment. I've got heaps. They're all over the place. Any other little bits I want? Might be enough for the moment. Might even just trying to randomly cut it because I don't want it to be like a neat slice. I want it to be messy. So my aim for this one was to have a neutral kind of background and then a fairly vintagey kind of feel. I don't want anything looking too new. Because what I have to do is I have to get a little touches of colour on. And then decide if I want any extra stitching, like if I want any cantha stitching anywhere. All right, so let's look at our colour bits. So we've got a little bit of colour in the cross stitch. Now, I thought the flower, love this flower, okay, it comes from one of my favourite vintage French fabrics. I'm thinking I want that at the base. There we go. Would be beautiful to thread paint, but I do love it how it is. Got floppy bits everywhere. Pin that one down a bit better. I'm just using the little clover applique pins, and I really like this embroidery. So I was thinking of having this on the inside as well. Or is it too much to have it on the outside? I feel like if I have it on the outside, I won't see it as much. Is it too much though with the flower there? I don't think so, not once I add more colour. I'll just pin that there for the moment. Oh, excuse me, Miss Kitty. She's growling at Alfie. Sometimes he gets close, like he's curious. He wants to go up and see her, and she doesn't want him too close. They definitely are not a cat and dog who have warmed to each other and, you know, sleep together and that kind of stuff, like some cat and dogs do, because she won't let him do that. I think he'd like to. He actually just wants to play with her. But, you know, cats don't want to play with the dogs. Well, my cat doesn't. Okay, I really like this piece. Same fabric, but it's got the nice flower. So, yeah, I'm very, very random here. Or it can be a bit hard to get in sometimes. There's quite a few layers of fabric on lots of parts. Why don't we fold that one over? I want it to go under that piece. So, okay, that's not pinned, but that's okay. Another piece of pink. Just run a bit under there. I like the Alfie bit where it's all fluffy, where he's chewed it. I don't know. Don't like that there. Don't think I'm that keen on that flower. It looks too new. Get rid of that. Goodbye. Oh, I have this one. I can put that on. Let's put that there. Do I want to? Yeah, just put that there. A little piece of applique. And I did have a couple of other flowers. I was thinking I really like this one. That one can go over there. And then I cut out this one too. That one can go on the outside. We're pretty plain here, so let's go there. All right, so that will be my crazy patch basket. So it won't do cantha stitching on everything like I might on some. For example, on the fabric might get cantha stitching, running stitches, and then this I might stitch around the outside. So I just work it out for each thing, what I want to do. I think it's pretty basic stuff, just the stitching. I think I might do that off camera because I'm not going to stay up too late tonight. I've got an early start tomorrow. Taking some boys down to our outdoor ed campus for the day. So I've also got like 5 million reports to finish writing. So I'm not going to stitch it today. I just wanted to show you what I was thinking. I may get the odd little bit. Like I could layer that up. I don't know. Might be a bit too much there. Anyway, I can fold a few more bits over if I want to. So that's what I'm going to show you for my bowl tonight. I think you can understand the concept of what I'm doing. Okay, putting that aside, I have one more thing to show you. Now, I have been doing a bit of stitching. We had a long weekend. I had some time off. And I finished my horsewhip. I actually finished a project. It's almost the first time. So I'm going to show you. I used Sari silk. I was going to use this cord and then I forgot about it and I put Sari silk in and it was too late. I'd forgotten I was meant to use that cord. Anyway, it's kind of a hand-dyed navy blue Sari silk and a really big mother of pearl button. So I decorated the folded over bit with a bit of the lace, which I've also got on the basket, a few Suffolk puffs, one from Beck from Sobe, a gorgeous little old cross stitch. That's an SR, that's my initials, laundry labels. And then the back you saw ages ago was all the different old bits of quilt and feed sacks. A lot of feed sacks are in here. Okay, just seeing if I'm on camera. Yes. So you can see I love it. I love the old quilts. And what I did is around the outside, I folded over just random scraps of fabric. You can see I've just used that on the bowl as well. And I just did messy, count the stitching. I ended up going around 3 times with some new bits of fabric. That's new, that's new, that's new. That's old. That's a second-hand one I got, sewing basket. That's off the back of an old piece of quilt. Okay, and now I'm going to show you the inside. So let's fold it up and I'm just turning off camera because I'm going to surprise you. All right. So here we are. I put in a beautiful Birdie embroidery because Birdie embroideries are my favorite, which I try to collect. And then here's my little pouch. Here's my little pouch for my scissors. What I might even do is put a ribbon on these and stitch the ribbon down maybe with a button so they can't actually get lost. They're just some little embroidery scissors. This is my little needle book, my Sobe curated Beck inspired needle book, pins and needles. So I used things out of a kit I got from her. Some Sue Spargo wool, some bits of linen, whatever they are, sandwich tray cloths with lace around the outside. And then I used some more of the little cross stitch. So I put that there and a little bit of old lace just to make it look pretty. So I haven't put any pins and needles in it yet. And then you saw this before. This is my pin cushion, which smells beautiful because it's got lavender and crushed walnut in it. And this is my little pocket on the end. So I could put some packets of needles in there, like new packets. This would be when I'm actually working and I'm taking this somewhere. I can have my pins in it, easy access, my needle that I might be using, and then I can put them away in here. All right, so then I'd have my pins and needles in here. Okay, and then that's my travel horsewhip. That is easy and portable for me to take away, so it all rolls up nicely. And then you wrap it around and just go around the button to keep it closed. There's my travel horsewhip. So I'm really excited I finished it. It took me a while. I had quite a few bits and pieces. The running stitch around the outside actually took quite a while. But yeah, I really like this. I think everyone likes their own thing, isn't it? Because you do it in your own taste. So yeah, I finished a project. Exciting. I have so many more I can finish though. Anyway, I'm liking the direction of my bowl too. So I think that's going to look good once it's stitched down. And then, you know, I might, in where there's a few plain bits, I might decide to do a bit of stitching. I'm thinking with some of the hand-dyed wools that I've got, because I have a lot of really nice ones. Yeah, and that's going to be my little bowl that I'm just going to put threads, like for example, I've got these kind of sitting around, and that would sit in my bowl, and I would just have bits and pieces I can grab and use up. So that's the plan. All right, so I'll see you next week. I'll try and get a bit of this stitched down and then come back and show you how I'm progressing next week and decide if I'm going to do any further embellishing. Oh, Suffolk puffs. I haven't added a puff anywhere. I must have to add a puff. I've got puffs, so I've got lots of puffs, you know that. So I think I'm going to find maybe some puffs, add some puffs in as well. All right, so thank you for watching. I'm not going to stitch on camera tonight, but I look forward to seeing more of what you guys are doing. All right, I will see you next week. Bye.